shift in men the last few years, or are we all just like more aware? I'm in my early 20s. A lot of my friends are like gorgeous girls in their early 20s. Women just don't really like men anymore. Speaking from like personal experience, like I haven't dated in like 2 years. No man interests me. Every girl I talk to feels the same way. Like if I meet a girl and she's single, she's like, yeah, I don't really date because like I don't really care. I know they say that like women hate men, but like do men genuinely hate women? And like it's not a joke. Women they hate the most are the ones that they're supposed to love. So like ew. But I get to see way more now, like girls in their 20s, later 20s that like have never had a boyfriend. This is just me because that's how I feel.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll analyze how a woman tries to test her man with absurd questions and ends up accusing him of being narcissistic just because he didn't respond the way she wanted. We want you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Recently, we noticed that 73% of the people who watch our content aren't subscribed, so we invite you to do so. We promise to always bring you quality topics. Don't forget to leave us your comments and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. Now, let's get started.
What are the reasons you love me? And why is this question a good litmus test for if you are with a narcissistic person? So we have a lot of good litmus tests. We have a lot of good ways that we can kind of see if the person that you're with is ultimately a narcissistic person. But I think that this question is a really good one. And how you can tell is by their answer. So I think a couple of good answers to see if you're with one is if they answer by a reflection of themselves. So if they answer you with, well, I love you because of how you make me feel. Or, I love you because I know you're the kind of person who will take care of me one day. Or do they get angry? If they're like, well, why do I have to answer this question again? I told you 100 times. Oh dear goodness, that's a really good indicator, right? But if they can't produce any reasons about you or your characteristics, your qualities, anything about you that they love, you know why? Because they don't think about you. They only think about themselves. They are the center of the universe and everyone exists for them. So they can give you a bunch of reasons about them and why they have you around for themselves, but they can't name one.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
A single and feminist woman creating more single and feminist women because misery always seeks company. These types of questions like, why do you love me? Often end badly because when men answer honestly, many women don't like the response. From a young age, men are taught that their value lies in what they contribute and do. Society doesn't grant them innate social value. They have to earn it. Even when it comes to dating, men are expected to be in a position to provide and care, to have something tangible to offer. They're not asked to bring empty emotions, but results. This conditions men to value their existence based on what they can do or contribute. That's why, when you ask a man, why do you love me? His answer will always be tied to what he perceives as important, what you do for him or what he can do for you. This has been ingrained in him his entire life, and it's what shapes his perception of personal worth.
Thing about you that they love. So when you're like, why do you love me? They can't give you one reason about you that they love. It's only about them and only about themselves. And they might even get angry that you're even asking and annoyed. Or they might even say, well, what do you love about me? Because they've got to stroke that ego all the time, right? They're totally going to flip this and make this an opportunity to stroke their own ego. Well, what do you love about me? You haven't told me in months what you love about me. So why do I have to all the time tell you what I love about you? When in all honesty, they probably haven't told you in years or if ever what they love about you. That's how you know it. That's a great litmus test to see, among other things. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll probably come up with another question tomorrow when I'm sitting in my car getting groceries. Have a good night.
I broke up with a fiancé because he could not give me a reason he wanted to marry me versus someone else. My BF told me he likes and adores the way I am strong and the way I move and how we can have meaningful talks, and if I do something I jump right in. A grown man can take care of himself and not the minimum shit. I want a friend and lover, a confidant. I ain't don't want someone's boy. I asked one man that, and he told me like the fact that I never get boring, always got something to talk about, and I'm not afraid of doing what makes. I asked thinking he wouldn't answer. He gave 10 reasons without stuttering. It backfired. Cannot wait to ask my husband this question this tomorrow morning. A great one for sure.
If a man ever tells you that he likes you, just ask him why.
And make sure that his answer isn't all about what you can do for him. If he's saying things like, I love the fact that you cook for me, that you clean for me, that you take care of me, that you take care of the kids, and nothing that he's talking about has anything to do with you as a person, your value, your sense of worth, that you're funny, that you're loving, that you take care of the people that you love, that you are honest, that you're decent, that you're moral. If it's all about, I like how you take care of me, that's not cute. I don't know if some men think that that's flattering. Like, out of all the women that I could have chosen to cook and clean for me and have my kids, I've chosen you. You lucky. No, a woman wants to feel loved, cherished, and valued for what she brings, who she is, not what she can do. We're about more than just service. Some men can only see a woman's value as in what she could do for that man, not like who she is as an actual person.
You know what bothers me about this? Women often want men to view the world emotionally, the way they do. They demand this emotional connection, but when they have an emotional man, they end up leaving him because they perceive him as weak or effeminate, incapable of making them feel like they're with a real man. If you're a woman and you're asking this absurd, "Why do you love me?" test, also ask the man, "Why do you think I love you?" You'll realize that his answer will be very similar. He'll say it's because of what he does for you, because that's how he's been conditioned. Men perceive their value based on what they can provide, because the world has always demanded that of them. Unlike women, men aren't born with inherent social value. For a man to be on a yacht tomorrow, he has to contribute something significant. A woman only needs beauty. It's no coincidence that the 10 wealthiest women in the world are linked to the wealthiest men. Remember this: women, babies, and animals receive unconditional love. Men, on the other hand, are only valued for what they can contribute. If you have doubts, just watch how some women learn the hard way that the patriarchal narrative crumbles when they realize being a man isn't the privilege they claim it to be.
My message to my younger self would just be like, you know who you are, and please embrace that. I feel, for me, I understood my truth. I felt it very strongly, and it was all of the external forces and noises that pushed and pulled and made me sort of lose track of who I was. And so I guess to my younger self, I'd say, that discomfort and that pain you're feeling, that is not yours, that is theirs. And to just keep going on the journey of embracing who you truly are. And that's what's going to lead you to happy.
How the narrative changes when reality slams you against a wall. This girl experienced something my father always used to say: never be a useful fool. The useful fool is like the guy whose friends encourage him to do something dangerous. They cheer him on while he's doing it, but if it goes wrong, they simply say, "It was your decision. It's your fault." In the end, they leave him alone with the problem. This girl was sold the idea that being a man is easy. She was earning millions from her roles, and people told her that as a man, she'd earn even more. They cheered her on, made her feel like she could take on the world. Today, she can't land a single role, nobody's clapping, and her bank account is draining faster every day. Now she claims she was forced. But wasn't the man supposed to be the privileged one? She's no longer treated as the pretty girl who got easy roles with little dialogue. Now she regrets it, but welcome to the world of men. Here, nothing is handed to you. and the responsibility for your decisions will always be solely yours.
So I just found out that I'm not hot. And this was based on a really humbling experience where I'm trying to get 4 men together to help me move a really heavy object from point A to point B. Not a far point A to point B either. And I can't do it. It can't be done. I'm in hell. I've tried for days, texting every man I know. Can you please come help me move this heavy thing? It's a piece of granite, by the way. I think we can use that as a gauge. Number 1, can you get a group of men to help you move a heavy object from point A to point B? Number 2, how far can you get them to move it? Because what I need is a piece of granite moved about 15 feet. Cannot gather 4 men to do that. Oh, I can't. I'm going to be hungover that day. Oh, I can't. Football is on. Wham! Number 1, they don't make men like they used to. Because how come nobody wants to be helpful? Little helpless old me? You want me to pick up the granite slab? Hey. You're not being helpful. Number 2, I need to level up.
I'm sorry, but this is not telling of how hot you are. This is telling of how many men that you've placed in your friend zone. And it sounds like they all exited themselves without you even realizing. Because if you think that men are just going to give all of that effort, all of that time just because you're attractive and you're literally just sitting there and you're not reciprocating anything back, they are over that. They would rather have a true friend that they're putting effort towards, or they'd rather have somebody that's wanting to be in a real relationship with them. It's that simple. Stop trying to expect things from men when you're giving them literally nothing back.
Exactly. You asked for equality, and now you've got it. You're being treated the way you demanded. Weren't men supposed to be trash, useless, and disposable? That is, until you need a man to do something for you. Then suddenly the guilt trips and attempts to belittle men come out to make them comply. But good for those men who are waking up. Nowadays, many understand that they should only help women who are their partners or who pay them for the services they provide. The time for giving without receiving anything in return is over. Brothers, men are learning, and the game is no longer the same. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are some questions for you. Has a girl ever tested you to see how you'd respond? Why do you think this girl regrets her transition to becoming a man? If you enjoyed the video, I invite you to subscribe. Check out 2 other great videos we've got on modern women, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next episode on the wall.